Hey everybody, I'm Justin with CBI Off-Road. Today we're working on a Lexus 570. We're installing the front bumper. Gonna be a little cutting involved, but should be a good time. Stay tuned, we'll show you how to do it. All right, so first thing we're gonna talk about is the actual cut of the bumper, and we're reusing a lot of the factory lines, so it's gonna make your layout really easy. I've taped off this side and kind of gave some cut arrows. Follow me back around this side and we'll kind of talk about what's gonna happen across the grill and down the other side. So right here you can see the sensor, and then there's kind of a blocked layer of the honeycomb underneath it. And we're just gonna come in right underneath this first section, basically come out onto the chrome, down, across here, and right underneath this fog light, and then straight back. So you're gonna wanna be kind of conservative with your cut. You can always sand more off, but obviously you can't put any back on. So go ahead and cut, be conservative, and then do some test fitting, sanding as necessary, but that's kind of how our layout's gonna go. Okay, so we came across the grill with our cut, and now we're gonna basically follow down in this, this line here, following this factory chrome / painted surface down here. We're gonna go across down in this valley here to the fog light, coming down and about a 1/4 inch below that fog light, and then we're gonna go straight across. So these are all factory lines until you get to this point here, but it's just gonna be a straight cut. So you might wanna cut a little bit away from the fog light and then sand up to the fog light, just so you don't have your cutoff wheel into the light itself. So you don't want to damage that. We'll go ahead and get this taped off and we'll start our cut. All right, so our measurement on the side is gonna be from this bolt, the center of this bolt down, it's gonna be 2.5 inches. And then on the front side, from the very bottom corner of this fog light, it's gonna be 5/8 of an inch down. So connect those two dots and that'll be your straight cut here. The passenger side of the vehicle is gonna be this exact same measurement. All right, so just a couple things we gotta do before our cut is we gotta remove these plastic panels on both sides of the vehicle. They're held in place by some 10mm bolts, so you need to take those out so that when you cut the bumper, it'll fall away from the vehicle. This particular customer is gonna get an aftermarket skid plate, so we're just gonna go ahead and drop that down as well, and that's held in place by 12mm bolts, but if you're not doing that, you're good with just the plastic panels on both sides. Go ahead and get these out. Okay, so now we're all set up. We're gonna make our cut. Make sure you wear a good face shield to cover your face from any hot plastic. I'm wearing my coat of many cuts, so I'm good there. And always cut on the this side of your tape line. You can always sand to the line. Obviously, you can't add more back to the vehicle. So with that being said, I'm using a 5-inch cutoff wheel. We'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so you can see we got our cut done, bumpers out of the way. Now I have a sanding disc and we're just gonna start going through all these edges. You can see I didn't go quite to the tape line, but that's what this is for. So this can, we can control this a little easier to get up closer to that fog light. We'll get this all sanded and then start disassembling some of this. Okay, so now that we got everything cut, this foam piece just kind of fell out. We don't need that. So if somebody's walking by, go for a headshot. That'll definitely keep them out of your work area. Second, we need to remove this crash bar, 3 17mm bolts on each side. We need to remove these hooks, and those are 17mm as well. And then the 14mm bolts behind here holding this mounting point for the crash bar. We'll go ahead and remove those and proceed on. Okay, so everything's off. Just really quick, we're gonna cut these 2 plastic pieces. There's 2 different ways you can cut them, or you can just completely remove them. It's easier for us just to cut them. Just watch out and make sure you're not damaging anything around them. Okay, so if you have any accessories going in your bumper, now is definitely the time to do it. I would advise doing your light bar prior to the winch if you have both of them going in. If you just have either one, then obviously it doesn't matter. But these are our light bar brackets, and there's 3 holes here, and you can see these slots in here. So that's just gonna mount in there, giving your light bar the forward up front mount. And this particular bumper takes a curved 30-inch light bar, a single row. So make sure you purchase the correct light bar and install it properly. Okay, so before we put our bumper up, our particular install has a winch. So we're gonna need to remove this factory support and install our support. So it's pretty simple. We're just swapping out these 10mm bolts. There is 2 on top that we'll have to get some 1/4-inch hardware to replace those, but we can reuse these 2 factory bolts. We'll go ahead and do that. All right, so we got our trim installed and everything, and just quick pro tip, this plastic housing, it's part of the fog light. So when you're making your cut and just any sort of sanding and power tools in this area, just be aware and do not cut into this plastic enclosure right here. So just be aware of that. But we're trimmed up, we're ready to throw our bumper on, so we'll go grab it right now. Okay, so bumper's up, and the 4 bolts on each side that are 14mm that we talked about saving. So those are gonna hold this on. You don't wanna torque them down yet, just run them up to where the bumper's sitting straight. And then these bolts here, they were from the tow hooks that we took out. So this will actually give you some adjustment on your elevation. So you wanna get these set and then get the bumper where you want it and then torque down the 14mm. So we'll get these installed. So just a couple of final things that we have going on our bumper. We have this plate that'll go on the bottom, and then we also have these plates that'll be installed on the lower sides. We need to put these clip nuts on this plate itself. Usually they go on the bumper, but this one's a little bit different, so we're putting them on here, and we'll hammer these on and then get this plate installed. All right, so our next step is we're gonna trim the inner fender liners. Pretty simple, we're just gonna make a straight line across, basically at our cut line. You can mark this side here and then go around on the inside, mark there, and then I'm using a straight edge to connect the dots. We'll go ahead and get this marked up. All right, that sums up our install tutorial of this LX570 front bumper. It looks amazing, hugs the body super good. We're extremely happy with this product. Hope you guys had a good time with your install. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Thanks a lot, guys.